Hey there, Group B. It is I, Miss Simonelli, here with your new spelling list of the week. So last week we learned about adding ES to plural words that end in S or SH or CH, right, that is sound. This week is another important spelling rule. And this applies to nouns, which are things, and verbs, which are action words, that end in the letter Y. We change the Y to an I and add ES. That is our magic rule. This only happens if there's a consonant right before the Y. Now, consonants are words that are not vowels. So vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. So this would be like if there's a T before a Y or an L before a Y. We change the Y to an I and add ES if we make it plural. Here are some examples. You all had to buy more than one supply, right? So I want to make the supply plural, like you have a lot of supplies to bring home each week. We change the Y to an I and add ES. This word is now supplies. Notice that IES at the end. The Y had changed from an I. Y changes to an I and we add ES. Or for example, there are many different, well, I used to live in New York City, right? City, C-I-T-Y. Notice the consonant right before the Y. But there are lots of cities in the world, more than one city. So if I want to make it plural, I take away the Y, add an I, and add ES. Notice that pattern, Y to an I, and add ES. I'm going to do that a lot of times during this video, so get used to it. Now these are when things are plural. We also sometimes have to add that S to a verb, to an action word. Like if a baby is crying, right? So instead of saying, I cry, a baby cries. Hear that S at the end, cries. This also changes the Y to an I, and we add ES. So all of the words on your list end in IES, but originally, if we take away that ES, the Y would have to change back to an I, and this word would become city with a Y at the end. So this is a really important spelling rule. I want you to pay close attention to when you see this. It's very common, but it's whenever there's a Y at the end of a word, and there's a consonant right before the Y. Like see the L or the T or the R, because this doesn't happen in a word like this. This word is play, right? Play has an A right before the Y. So if I want to say the child plays with other children, I just have to add an S. This doesn't follow this rule because there's a vowel right before the Y. Same with the word keys, right? I have lots of keys to my car and my house. That E is a vowel right before the Y. So this only happens in words with consonant plus Y at the end. Pay really close attention to that fact. I'll stand here so you can see my examples. All right, so you can grab your packet. I'll read through your words, make sure that you know what each of the words are, what they say, and of course that you understand the rule. Some of these words are things, nouns, like supplies, or things that you can touch, right? Or cities, or places that you can go. And some of them are action words, they're verbs, like cries and plays. Those mean that something is happening, someone is doing something. Pay attention to that because your very first sort, which I'm holding up right now, you're going to sort into nouns, things, people, places, and verbs, like actions, things that are happening, things that are moving. Flies, that's a noun and a verb, right? I could have lots of flies flying around my house, or I could say that fly flies across the room. It's a cool word. It could be with a noun and a verb. Fries, also a noun and a verb, because who eats French fries? I certainly do. But also, maybe your dad fries up some chicken for dinner. Both noun and verb. Babies. Babies are babies. Ladies, I like to use that word a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Pennies, we did lots of penny experiments, right? Pennies. Ponies. Stories, we all read lots of stories. Bullies, also a noun and a verb, because listen to the sentence. She bullies me. The bullies went away. So these two sentences, bullies is being used differently. In this one, she bullies me, it's what she's doing. This is a verb. In this sentence, the bullies went away. The bullies are people, so they are a noun. Same exact word can be used more than one way. Same with fries, same with with flies. It's a little bit confusing, I know, and I'm trying not to go too fast. I talk too fast, I'm sorry. Then I get out of breath and it's a whole big thing. All right, anyway, I was up to number 8, bullies. Number 9, bunnies. You know what bunnies are. Number 10, cities. Number 11, copies. Number 12, fairies. Number 13, armies. Number 14, bodies. Berries. Oh, I love berries. They're my favorite kind of fruit. Hobbies. A hobby is like a fun thing that you do instead of work. So for instance, my hobbies include doing yoga, gardening, watching Netflix. Those are things that I do in my spare time. My brother loves to go fishing. That's his hobby. Parties. I wish we could have parties, right? We have to have social distance parties. Daisies. Those are those beautiful flowers. They look a lot like that. They're usually white or yellow. Daisies. Cries and supplies. So again, your rule of the week, say it with me in your brain, change Y to I and add ES. Happy working on your lists. Let me know if you have any questions. You guys are amazing and brilliant. I love you, Group B. See you later. Bye.